Hey, hello everybody. Look, joy stopped being a concept the day it got a room number, a day of the week, and four amazing people who refused to let me shrink. Commitment, it's not a solo act. That's where we're going today. So you know what time it is. Let's dance. Let's dance. We are back. It starts with Joy Live. Joy doesn't show up when you're drowning in control. The tighter you hold on, the less you actually control. You have great leadership. It's how well things run when you're not involved. If I delegate, am I still necessary? That's the real fear underneath the control. You have to stop treating joy like something you get after all of the work is done. It allows all of us to show up again tomorrow. She taught me what it means to be unshakable, unbreakable faith. That's where my definition of joy comes from. Have structure or boundaries. What is one heavy responsibility you're carrying right now that actually belongs to someone else?
Your digital twin doesn't exactly look like you?
Steady B. Real Sheryl is one of a kind.
Well, he has a point.
Did I see myself quickly in a clip there? I have no control over my own show, but yeah, let's dance, team, let's dance. I love the throwback. Wow, we are, guys, good morning, Joy Squad. We're at episode 11. So when I look at that opening, I'm just kind of like, wow, that seems so long ago, 11 or so weeks ago. So hi, good morning. For those of you who haven't met me, if you're new here, I am Sheryl, Raphael, Whitaker, and wherever you are watching from, let's see. Hey, Susie, time to dance. Hi. Drop it in the chat. Let us know where you are. If you're coming to us from YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. And if you are watching this on replay, if you're part of the replay crew, doesn't matter. We are so happy to have you here. Wednesday is back, and it comes really fast. The weeks are going by really fast this year. So today's episode, just to let you in on a secret here, today's episode is going to be really different. We are in cycle 3, so we're talking about Joy Committed, which is all about accountability. And I'm going to introduce you to a room of those great friends who hold me accountable and keep me accountable, because sometimes I like to say that commitment, it's personal, but at the same time, sometimes you need witnesses. So 4 guests on our show today, four coaches, 4 builders, 4 people who show up for each other and for me every single week. And honestly, it's not because anyone tells us to. There's no contract or anything. It's because we chose each other and we keep choosing each other every week. So this is not going to be a panel or a round table. It is a room. It is a room squad. And today we're inviting you into our room. So I have a few things to say, as I usually do. And we've got Beatrice and Atlas kicking around in my head. And we are at week 3 of our Joy Shift. And so I'm going to talk about that. You're going to have homework. And of course, I have got a few announcements to make about the next 2 weeks that I can't wait to share. So I know that Susie is there. Hey, hi, Matt. Hello. Yeah, we're going to have fun today. Looking forward to talking with you later. All right. So tag me, tell a friend, get into the app. We're here. It starts with joy.live. Let's go. Good morning, Beatrice and Atlas.
They warned you it would be lonely at the top for a reason. Hiding the struggle isn't a burden. It's a strategic advantage.
An advantage for whom? Hiding is just another word for holding your breath until you pass out. Real strength invites a witness.
A witness? You mean a guest with a front row seat to the chaos. Professionalism means keeping the kitchen door closed.
The kitchen is where the feast is made. Sheryl's room isn't about perfection. It is about the power of being known.
Brace yourself then. If you are letting people in, the walls are officially down. This is going to be incredibly exposed.
Exposure is where the armor falls off and the impact begins. Let's see what happened when Sheryl stopped boarding up the windows.
The armor folds off. I love it. Atlas, you're so ridiculously wise. You're so wise. Good morning, Ingrid. Hey, girl. Good to see you, my friend, my sister. All right. So I'm going to tell you something that I was told before I started building my business. People told me that entrepreneurship would be very, very lonely. And this was everybody telling me this, colleagues, mentors, people I really respected. They said it like it was a fact, like the weather. You're going to be very alone. The higher you go, the fewer people are going to understand you, and you're going to carry things that nobody else can see. And hey, you know, that's just what it costs. Good morning, Stefan. Good morning. Thanks for coming back this week, my friend. And it scared me, I've got to be honest. I believed them for a while. And I braced myself for it. Like, I prepared for the loneliness, the way you prepare for a storm, where you board up all the windows and then you wait for it to come and then to pass. And because I never even thought about being an entrepreneur, and because I was so much into the energy as an extrovert, the energy I got from other people and from my team in corporate, then I would be lying if I said to you that it didn't make me nervous and concerned about what that was going to do for my spirit and my energy if there was no one in the room getting work done with me. But here's what actually happened. And this is the part nobody warned me about, because nobody talks about this part. The community of entrepreneurs, coaches, founders, people who are out there just like building their business, they are so open, so willing to give. And then maybe it's because there's this understanding that we are, you know, in a lot of ways building things on our own. So it's really cool. Like, I am not lonely. And it's not because the work isn't hard. And it's not because I don't have moments of doubt about what I'm doing. Of course, you know, I share it with you every week. I do. But because somewhere in the middle of all that, somewhere between the different launches and the pivots and what I'm doing now, I found a room. I actually found a few rooms. And it's not a physical room. It's a room made of people. There are very specific people who are building also, people who understand the weight without me having to explain it. And people who would get on a call every week, not to network or to pitch to each other, not to add value in some kind of like transactional way, but just to show up, like to hold each other, to say, hey, how are you really doing? And then waiting for an answer. And that room has changed everything for me. It has filled all those nooks and crannies that I missed from being really that space of time that I talked to you guys about when I wasn't sure if I was in or out. That time in my life, that was very lonely and scary, although there were people there to support me. But let me tell you, the room I'm in right now, or the rooms I can say I'm in right now, are truly, truly amazing. So you can be aware and you can accept, right? Our joy shift cycle, we talk about awareness. Last week, we talked about embracing, which is accepting. But when it comes to commitment, and this is the tie-in for me on this room, commitment, that accountability, the real kind, the kind that sticks, it can happen by yourself, but more often than not, it doesn't happen alone. It happens when someone else can see your commitment, and when someone else can actually name it for you, when someone else can call you back to it. Like, hey, how are things going with XYZ? You mentioned that you were going to talk about that, or you were going to do this kind of thing. Did you do it? That's what accountability actually is. It's not a system or a tracker or a tool. For me, it's a room full of people who chose me and I chose back, and we keep choosing each other every week, even when things get messy, and when the doubts are like raging loud in your head, and the inner critic, Beatrice, for me, is working overtime. So accountability, it has a room number, and it has a day of the week, and it's a group text, and it's four people who I truly, in this particular room, who I truly love and who will not let me shrink. And so today, you are going to get to meet them. But first, let's hear again from Beatrice and Atlas, because I'm sure they've got something to say.
So you found a room. Great. Now you have 4 people who see exactly when you stumble. Doesn't that feel a bit heavy?
Weight is what keeps us grounded. Those people aren't there to watch her fall. They are there to ensure she lands.
NASA had 6 minutes of total silence during re-entry. No help, no witnesses, just 4 people in a metal box hoping for the best.
And hundreds of people on the ground holding their breath with them. Integrity isn't built in a vacuum, it is built together.
Shared joy sounds like a lot of shared responsibility. Are you sure Sheryl is ready for that kind of splashdown?
She isn't just ready, she is 95% more likely to succeed because of it. Let's talk about why nobody comes home alone.
Oh, Beatrice, how can you be pissy about Artemis and a splashdown? Oh my gosh, she's just too much. She's too much. All right, so I want to get into this, right? Here's the thing. Unless you were under a rock, you must have heard about the splashdown last week. Wow, it was absolutely amazing. It was very nostalgic and old school for me, sitting in front of the television with Dwayne and his mom, Mom V, my mom upstairs watching these 4 astronauts come home and splash down in the Pacific Ocean. This is the first crewed Artemis mission travel beyond the moon, and they made it back. And when that capsule hit the water, I wasn't really, I was watching out for the astronauts, but I was thinking about the room, thinking about the people at Mission Control who lost their minds with joy, especially because of those 6 minutes when there was complete silence, thinking about what happened in the last Artemis with the shield and whether or not it was going to hold. Oh my gosh, jumping, hugging, crying, people who I'm sure had not slept properly, probably in days, maybe weeks, just completely, falling apart in just the best way. And I thought, wow, those people, they didn't celebrate like that because it was their job. They celebrate like that because they were in it. They were all in it. They might as well have been right there in that capsule with those astronauts, because that mission, it belonged to all of them. And when you're truly committed to something together, when you hold each other to it, show up for it, carry through, even when there's uncertainty, the landing is not just a landing. It's a moment of shared joy, really, that you could not have felt alone. And that's what got me. It's really not the technology or the achievement, as extraordinary as it was. I was in a conversation yesterday about Artemis, and someone had mentioned that their husband, who worked for Boeing, has a colleague who worked on that mission 5 years ago. Someone else knew someone who was working on that very mission 10, 15 years ago. I mean, talk about that room. Talk about the people, right? So the fact that those 4 astronauts came home safely is because hundreds of other people refused to let them down. And so Atlas had mentioned some research. And so I did a little bit of digging. I wanted to share with you just so you understand the power of accountability. So I saw someone pop in. Hello. Hi, Mr. Howe. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Okay, so let's get into some stats here. So let me read this for you. So leaders with a specific accountability partner are 95% more likely to follow through on their commitments. Think about that. 95% if you have an accountability partner. Hey, babe. Good morning, Dwayne. Good morning, my love. So 95% compared to 10% for those who commit silently and alone. So that gap, that enormous gap, that's not about discipline at all. That's about having willpower, really. And also there's something about being witnessed. If you make a promise to yourself, a commitment to yourself that you're going to go to the gym, and then you know that there's somebody who, like a friend or any other kind of accountability partner, maybe it's a trainer, who is waiting for you at the gym, you're going to get your ass up and go, right? So it's about having someone who knows what you said you were going to do, and really, in the case of the rooms that I'm in, loves me enough, really, to ask if I did it. So this is cool. The Surgeon General has told us that loneliness is as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. And guess who's most affected by loneliness? Leaders, founders, the ones that we were told and believe that strength means you have to carry it alone. And the ones who treat commitment like it's like lives inside of us alone, like it's a personal decision, like it's a private promise, a private room, something you keep in your own chest through like sheer force of will. And I understand that. I actually lived that life for a moment of time. But those astronauts, they didn't come home on willpower. They came home because someone on the ground cared deeply whether or not they made it, Yes, integrity, Susie, 100%. Hey, good morning, Helen. Good morning. Good morning. So this is what joy-led commitment looks like. We're not talking about grinding alone in the dark or holding your breath through every hard moment. It looks like choosing your people, letting them see the mission, letting them hold on to you and letting yourself hold them right back. You get so much more with your hands open. Dwayne and I talk about this all the time. So much more with your hands open than you do with your hands, or I like to say with your heart closed. With that, I mean, it makes all the difference in the world. So 3 questions I want you to sit with, as we always do during Here's the Thing. First one is, if you had to think about it, who is in your mission control right now? Who's in your mission control? Talking about a person, someone who you chose because you believe in what you're doing and they believe in you. Who is that person? If you cannot name one person, that is not a failure. That, my friends, is just your next move. So, where have you been flying solo and calling it strength? That's the second question. That isolation, that armor that Atlas talked about, wearing that costume of independence, what would actually change if you let somebody in? You let someone in. And the last question is, what would it feel like to give your commitment a room? A room with people who show up even when it's messy, especially when it's messy. So 4 people came home from space this week because hundreds of others held the mission together. Your room, of course, doesn't need to be that big. It just needs to exist. I like to think through all the work that we're doing together, squad, that we have created, and we are creating a room here on this show, showing up for each other. I'm hoping you're going out to the app and communicating with each other. But I want you to meet, you're going to meet now 4 people who have been a really, really important part of how I stay accountable, how I stay honest and stay building, not because anyone told us to show up, but because we chose to. And I choose them back every single week. So my squad, Joy Squad, this is what that room looks like. Hi, Zola. Good morning. Let's introduce them.
Some rooms change you. You walk in and feel the commitment before a word is spoken. Squad, today is extra special. We have got not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 guests in the house. These 4 did not find this circle by accident. They chose each other, and they keep choosing week after week.
Jamie is helping leaders to stop morphing. He has spent 18 years showing them how to lead as themselves.
Jacqueline Langlois focuses on human intelligence. She names the inner critic out loud so it loses its power. Dawn is a former journalist and sales leader. She proves kindness isn't soft, it is strategy.
Nicole Christie is an industrial and organizational psychologist. With 20 years in development, she keeps conflict productive. 4 builders, 4 lanes. They refuse to let anyone in this room shrink. Commitment is not a solo act. It is the decision to let someone else hold you to it. Joy Squad, please welcome Jamie, Jackie, Dawn, and Nicole.
Oh my God, I could almost like be I'm like in tears looking at that team. Melissa, Mildred, amazing job with that. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
How are you?
Yeah, we're great. Thanks for having us.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh. I really appreciate. I must have said like thank you 1,000 times that and we've been talking about this for a while. I think even when I was sharing with you guys that I wanted to really think about putting this show together. I'm like, oh my God, maybe one day you guys we all be on it together. And you're like, yeah, wouldn't that be great? And and now look, here we are. We're all together. And yeah, so thank you. And Dawn, you were all the way in California, so it is super early where you are.
Yeah.
Jackie,
Got my cup of coffee. I'm good.
You're good. And Jackie, we're finally meeting at a time that is like normal for you because you are in France right now.
Yes.
Jamie, you're in Brazil, and then Nicole. I mean, now I'm thinking about it. Wow, where did Nicole over? Nicole's in Kansas City. Wow, I love it. Thanks for being here, guys. All right, so I did share with you that we're going to have a little hot take on Artemis. So, what comes to mind when you think about it? Did you watch the Splashdown? Did you experience it? Did you know it was happening? Talk to me.
I have to out myself, Sheryl, and this is because the room that you created. I can do this, so hopefully someone else feels okay about it. When you said unless you're under a rock, you must have known this was happening. I was the under the rock person until Splashdown. My husband even said, "What?" when I asked what was going on. I've been so focused on things, so. So I am looking at it after the fact, and it just makes me think about how all that happens sometimes, where we celebrate so much once things are successful, and that gets a lot of attention, and we don't others don't get to see all the successes along the way and failures along the way. And I suspect the crew and everyone that you mentioned, Mission Control, had to have been celebrating those steps along the way to keep that commitment going.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Nicole, don't worry, you're not alone, girl. I was under half a rock. Okay, all right. I knew Artemis was out there. I knew the mission was happening. I did not know like at the exact time that Splashdown was going to happen. And Dwayne was like, "Babe, we got to watch the Splashdown." I was like, "Oh shit, happening now? Okay, I'm coming now." So you're not alone.
For me, since it was happening while I was asleep. So you have that kind of anxiety of going to bed and then like, what am I going to wake up to? Is it going to be successful, or did something, would something have happened? And then you find out about it. So it's kind of that apprehension and nervous excitement. But like once you saw it, like the first thing that came to mind was like making the impossible possible, especially after so many years. And again, all the effort and planning that went into it after so long. I really do hope that they were celebrating those milestones and wins along the way, because if not, there's a lot of champagne drinking that they have to catch up on.
I agree. I would love some champagne. That would be good with some orange juice right now.
That's the thing. When I first moved to France a couple years ago, one of my French friends taught me, always keep a bottle of champagne in the fridge, because you never know when you're going to need it. And sometimes it's just to celebrate getting through the day. Other times it's, you hear news from a friend and you happen to meet up and you've already got a chilled bottle of champagne. And sometimes it's kind of that treat once you accomplish something in the future, something to look forward to. So there's always chilled champagne in my fridge, no matter where I'm at.
I love that. And Jackie, I remember you telling me that story before. And so since you said that, I have chilled champagne in my fridge all the time.
Amazing.
Jamie, what about you? What was it like over in Brazil?
Well, so I also didn't know exactly when the Splashdown was going to happen, but when I heard about it, on the news and got an Apple News update or whatever, then I tuned in, and so I got to watch it a little after the fact. But I too was so glued to this split screen or the picture-in-picture or whatever it was, showing Mission Control and getting to see that crowded room of all of these people just kind of celebrating and cheering. Because as you said, they all played a role in that, and that was cool. I really enjoyed that part of it. But also, as they were, showing these videos and the recording of Splashdown, was reading the messages of unity that all of these astronauts have been putting together, that they've been trying to share out with people. I thought that was really touching. And so knowing their intent, what it is that they felt in those moments, and seeing them celebrated, and the team behind the scenes that doesn't usually get the spotlight, getting to celebrate, I don't know. It was a really cool moment, and anybody that missed it, they should go back and check it out because it really is a nice piece of joy for all of us in times where we don't always have that. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that. That is so true. There were so many sentiments shared by that. I mean, that crew will be, you know, my mom said that she's like, they are going to love each other for life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Love each other for life. Oh, good morning, Jonathan and Mega Mew Gaming. Hi, welcome. Hey, Dawn, any thoughts for you out there in Cali?
Yeah, I mean, I think that with, you know, so many bad things going on in the world right now, I think that this is an inspiring story, and definitely makes me a bit more hopeful about the future and where we're going. You know, when we talk about this mission, you know, and, you know, having the first woman and the first person of color, you know, on the moon, like, I think that that's great. And, you know, it definitely gives me hope for, you know, new technology and just kind of being on the forefront of, you know, different things and investing in our future. So I'm super excited about, you know, next steps and what's to come. And, you know, again, it's positive. And, you know, to think about all of the collaboration that happened. And, you know, when you're talking about accountability, you're not necessarily assigning blame, but you're talking about ownership. Yeah. And these people really owned this mission. And I think that's why it's so successful. So yeah, super excited.
Yeah. And I mean, like, the timing was so perfect. I was like, oh my gosh, here we got these astronauts and like that, the team, and all the accountability and the commitments that they made to each other in order to make this mission happen and to make it successful. Everybody has their piece. And I was like, wow, damn, this is like divine intervention that it happened. And I'm like, and I get to talk about it with my accountability room. And you guys are all, you know, super, super special to me. So I just want to talk about that for a second, because it's interesting. We met, most of us met through the Center for Executive Coaching. We got certified together, and then we adopted Nicole, right? Who's Jamie and Nicole have known each other for the longest time. But my question for you guys is, why were you open to the room? Why were you open to like us doing what we do, meeting every Monday? And why do you stay? And this is so funny because we're not normally this polite with everybody. Like, you can talk. So don't worry about it, guys. You can go ahead and just chat.
We want to make sure we don't interrupt anybody. I'll jump in first, because for me, what's so fun about this is, you know, people that I respect and that I connected with, that I find have insight, that have similar interests in terms of the way you want to approach, you know, what it is that you're doing in coaching, specifically when we started. That's what got me about it. Of course, you know, the three of you I was reaching out to, and because I saw who you were through those coaching certification processes that we were going through, and getting to actually experience you and realize this is someone I want to connect with. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what it was about for me, because I could tell we click, but also there's something unique, something of interest, something that you bring to the table that I want to have within what it is that I do and in my life. And that was important to me. So for me, that's what it's all about. And of course, Nicole and I have known each other for too many years, and genuinely almost no one I respect more because of the caliber of person that she is. So, I mean, this is a group of some of my favorite people. So I look forward to Monday mornings when we get together, because it's one of the highlights of every week.
Aw, thanks, Jamie. And it's so funny, Jamie, when I think about you and I, because although there were like, I don't know, 30 something folks that were in that cohort learning from each other for that week that we were going through with CEC, that intensive, and there were breakouts after breakout after breakout, and you and I were never in the same room. Dawn, I was with you. Jackie, I was with you. Mm-hmm. Jamie and I were never, the universe never put us in the same room ever, unless we were all together. But more than, it had to be at least 3 people said to me afterwards, did you meet Jamie from Brazil? Jamie from Brazil? You really talk to Jamie from Brazil. And I'm like, who is Jamie from Brazil? who is Jamie from Brazil? And then Jamie, I think I was like, okay, let me find. I got to figure out because it was like so many names. No one was like, no, it wasn't Jamie O'Brien. It was Jamie. So I like kind of look back and find you, but then you found me first.
Yeah, I did. I hunted you down on LinkedIn because I'm that person in a big room like that. You guys know me well enough, especially Nicole. I like to sit quiet and listen and think about the things people are talking about, the questions they're asking, because that's how I learn best. I don't learn best by usually asking my own questions or jumping in. So I love to watch other people. And you're one of those people, Sheryl, that you were jumping in and asking such great questions. And that's why at the end of those couple of days, I thought to myself, well, that's really crap that she and I never ended up in a room together because I want to get to know her. We have a similar background. We come out of the TD space, talent development, OD. And she's got such great insights because I got to spend time with Dawn. I got to spend lots of time with Jackie. She and I kept being together constantly because other people were interested. It was just she and I. We had a great time. But that's where, I wanted to connect with you. I was so curious to get to know you better. And I'm really glad that we have. Can you believe it's been getting close to 2 years at this point?
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God. Yeah, right. That's right. I can't even think of a time where I didn't know you guys. Thank you. What, anybody else want to chime in? What was it for you?
Yeah, I think what's interesting is, well, number one, you guys had started a group chat and I wasn't yet part of it. And I was messaging each one of you individually. And then somebody had said, oh, we've got a group chat. And I was like, please let me be a part of it. And the rest is history. But Jamie, I just want to comment about like what you said about how you and Sheryl had like the L&D background. I mean, there's similarities with us and we're all coaches and kind of working in the same space, but we're all so different and have very unique backgrounds and life and lived experiences. And we all bring very unique strengths to the table. And for me, that's what I was looking at or looking for. And I didn't want to be in like my own echo chamber or siloed thought. I wanted to have a space where I was challenged, but still safe. And this group is definitely that, my crew. And then we're doers, but we're also connectors because that's how Nicole was brought into the group. So Jamie and I were having a one-on-one conversation. And since I've been living overseas, I really focus a lot on cultural intelligence as part of my human intelligence framework. And Jamie was like, you should meet Nicole. Nicole actually knows a lot about this. So then Nicole and I connected. And then Sheryl, as you said, was adopted into the group. So it's really amazing, how just the connections are made and we all have different strengths and we're willing to help each other and hold each other accountable to get stuff done and for our businesses to move forward. And it's not just for us, last comment, it's also for our clients because we're all very passionate about what we do and the people who we're working for. Like this is never just a box check exercise for us. We come to our conversations when we're having challenges or wanting different solutions or thoughts about how to do what we do better.
Yes. Well said there, my friend. Well said. Well said. Dawn, half the time when you're coming in, you're like just waking up.
Yes, I know.
A glass of wine.
That early time zone. I think for me, this group just really represents trust. Kind of like, we want the people that we're coaching to trust us. There's a circle of trust here and, we are able to be vulnerable with each other and kind of speak our minds and speak freely. And because of that, we're able to strategize. We're able to talk about new technologies and how to improve ourselves and be better coaches to support the people that we're coaching. And I love the fact that we can, really have that respect for each other. And, everybody kind of brings something different to the table and, represents something different. So I love having those weekly chats because I think, when we talk about accountability, a lot of people get scared and they think that it's, blame. They want to place blame on people, but I think it's really a collaborative thing. And an intention to show up and do the very best you can every single day. And I think that this group helps me to achieve that goal personally and professionally. So,
yeah, I love that. I love that. We're getting a lot of love in the chat too from Kindness Rising and Stefan, User, and then the hubby Dwayne. So everyone's digging the conversation. Thank you guys. What about you, Nicole?
Yeah.
Last but not least in the group and just to weigh in.
Well, I am living proof of that you all living what you're talking about because before any of you knew me, I was launching something new for my company. It's called The Art of Leaders, and I'm not a big poster on LinkedIn. I'm not a big anything, and Jamie knew about it, and I put a post out there, and he reached out to you all and asked you if you would comment or like on it, and you did, and so that kind of gave me the courage as well to reach out to you all and start having those one-on-ones. And I'm so thankful to be part of this group because the other thing that I bring differently is just having been a solopreneur for a few more years. And this type of space, this type of room has been what has allowed me to survive. And everything that you're talking about is bringing different perspectives. Accountability, as you were saying, Dawn, without blame, just having people who know you, who understand that your goals aren't necessarily theirs, and that's okay. So what I think is really special about you all, it being the newer person to the group, and the group chat it is like, oh my goodness, I've got to step up, not because there's any sort of comparison or competition. It's inspiring. So the energy that you all have, it brings not just the different perspectives and the different strengths that you have, but the fact that you're newer to this work. I was kind of in a lull. So you're bringing, that kind of energy and the encouragement, and there's never any shoulds. It's just okay, what's going to be best for you? And here's what works for me. And, it's really cool. And there's if you can't show up on a day, no one assumes that means you're not committed. It's everyone understands that you're going to be there, and we show up in other ways, not just in Monday morning.
Yeah. That is so true. And like I mentioned in my monologue, I'm just really like blown away by what I didn't expect from a community of entrepreneurs that is so open to so much work to be done. Mm-hmm. And the way that we share, I just love that we share everything that we learn. We're just sharing with each other just to help each other be better. There's no sense of oh, well, I'm going to keep this to myself because I want to know about it and I don't want Jamie to know that. We don't do that. And that is one of many reasons why I keep coming back. Not to mention, I just love all of you so much. And we're just like, we went from being just like a group of folks that got together and tried to just connect on business to really caring about each other as people, as human beings. And we are genuinely friends. So anyone who says you can't connect and build relationships across the waves, they haven't met this group. That is for sure. So this show, obviously, it's about joy, and you guys bring me so much joy in a whole bunch of different ways. But I wanted to hear from you. What is it about the work that you do that brings you joy? What is it about being in this space? We've all come from the workplace and then made different decisions. Some of us are still in and out. So what is it about the work that you do that brings joy to you?
For me, I said I had my head under a rock with regards to Artemis, but the IRL, I guess, the in real life engagement, like I get hope every day with the leaders that I get to work with the individuals that I get to work with colleagues like yourselves that are doing this work for the right reasons, that we just really want to add value. And we believe that you can have high performance and deep care for the people, that you're working with and that are working with and for you. And I just have met, to your point, just wonderful, generous people who have the right focus. And it helps me to feel more joy, more hopeful because of that.
I love that. I love that. Anyone else want to chime in on what is it about your work that brings you joy?
I think for me, it is working with people and watching that aha moment where everything just starts to click in their lives and they realize that, you know, they're not trapped in a situation, that there is hope and that they can get out. Or maybe they've had imposter syndrome and they realize that they're better than they actually thought that they were.
Yeah.
Or they're, you know, you've been working with them for certain periods of time and then they start to see the results and all the fruits of their labor kind of come to fruition. And for me, that makes me happy because then
Oh, shoot.
coached and, you know, being a coach is an ongoing evolution, right? But I feel like it just makes me so happy that I was able to help that person accomplish their goals and be the best that they can be.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. I mean, there's some people, I mean, I remember like before I became a coach and I ended up having a coach, I didn't really understand how a coach can help me. And then, but once you see something, you can't unsee it, right? And so I've been on the receiving end of that kind of support that you're describing, Dawn. And it is definitely joyful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I think it was, you know, it's like what I said about the mission. It's making the impossible possible and seeing clients have that breakthrough. But it's also about paying it forward, because I remember like when I had people mentoring me and coaching me, and you don't know what you don't know. And so people taking you under their wing and kind of showing you and guiding you, it's just always been, you know, it's just, I've always been really grateful for the people who have done that. And so this is a way for me to kind of pay that forward in the same respect.
I love that, Jackie. I love that.
That's great. I'll just chime in. Mine's very similar to what's been said, but it's really about changing. Again, I'm not going to change the world, but what I can do is help support the change that leaders or individuals or their teams that I work with change their worlds, you know, what their experience is. And knowing even when we're just working with a leader, everybody that interacts with that leader or works for that leader is a recipient of whatever that positive change and development is that they're pursuing. That's why it is that I chose coaching. And that's what I find to be so fulfilling about this, is knowing, again, we all can't change the world, but we can change the world people experience, one person at a time or a group at a time. And that's a really cool thing to be able to do and to be trusted with that by my clients.
Ah, beautiful. Yeah.
JB, if I can add to that, this is actually, you know, Sheryl, how you were talking to us about like the mission and stuff. I don't know if you all have seen like the replay of the 4 astronauts and when they kind of did the debrief, but Christina, this is from her speech. When she was talking about, she was asked the difference between a crew versus a team. And she thought that she knew the answer right away, but she really had to think about it. And her answer, when she had reviewed it and when she was talking to people in the audience, she said, the crew is always in it. They have the same purpose. They sacrifice for each other, but always hold each other accountable at the same token. They have the same care. They're dutifully linked, and they want to share in the human experience. And I think, Jamie, it's just like you said just now about, you know, being able to change the world that people experience. I just wanted to share that because I think it ties.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. Thank you. Yeah, someone sent me. I mentioned you guys that this group that I'm in, this Human Future of Work group, we spent a whole hour talking about the mission and the crew and the team. And there are a bunch of different clips going around, a lot of content out there that I still want to dig into. So thanks for bringing that up, Jackie. Thank you for that. So time goes by really, really fast here on It Starts With Joy. I told you guys when we were backstage, we're going to have you come back because we're not going to have enough time to like really, really dig in. But one of the things that I love about the this entrepreneurial community and specifically about the coaching community is that we do what's called OPA. We use other people's audiences, right? So I love the fact that I'm able to like have this platform and be able to like bring guests on, people that I care about, people who are really doing things out there, and give you an opportunity to share with my audience and then also subsequently yours what you got going on. So I want to give you guys just like a minute each or so, just to like go around and just tell me like what's hot that you got going on that you want to make sure that everybody hears about, and where can they find you? Where can they find you?
Yeah, well, I'll just jump in.
What you want to say?
So I'm super excited because this year I'm hosting a leadership summit in Italy. So it's all about food and leadership, and I'm hoping to offer more, but this will be my flagship offering and my first one, so proof of concept. Yeah. But it's not just because like, oh, I went and did a wine tasting and I was like, want to play tour guide Barbie. Like, this is a place I've been going to for like the last 15 years. So I've been able to build some really key relationships with people who are directly impacting like the global food value chain and where food comes from. Wow. So it'll be, like I said, all about food, all about leadership. We'll be learning about how food is made. We'll be enjoying some wine as well. But I'm really excited for that. It's July 13th through 17th, and you can find out more at gendconsulting.com.
Thank you. And we'll be posting that, and I make sure that information is on YouTube as well, Jackie, so everybody can get more information about that awesome summit that I'm so sad I'm not gonna be able to go to, because I really want to be there. I want to be there with you. I know it's going to be great.
You'll get some extra wine to chill.
Yeah, you got, Ingrid. Yay, Italy. Awesome. Who else? Does anyone else want to share what you got going on or where people can find you?
I'll jump in real quick then. I'll just make it quick and easy. So for me, recently I've been shifting away from just focusing so much solely on one-on-one leadership and executive coaching, and focusing on team coaching and working with different leadership teams at different levels, whether team coaching and development, or we're talking about strategic talent planning and succession planning, and some of those key pillars that organizations don't always, already have in place, or they haven't resourced. So those are things that are really exciting me right now. But I gotta say, I'm very jealous of Jackie's summit. Yeah. So if you haven't signed up, do it, because if I could be there, you better believe I'd want to, because aside from all the fantastic learning and support that would be available, it just sounds like a great time and a cool environment in which to do it. So I'm excited for Jackie just for that one. But with that, you're welcome. My easiest way to contact me, LinkedIn or my website, jobryancoaching.com. I should know my own website by heart, shouldn't I? So you can easily find me at all of those places.
Awesome, Jamie. Awesome. Thank you. Dawn, Nicole, anyone want to share?
I'll jump in. So I'm an executive coach. So I do individuals and teams as well. What Jamie, just like Jamie. But what most people don't realize is that I'm also a former broadcast journalist. And so I also do media consulting and media training. And I am available at smithcoachingcompany.com. You can schedule an appointment there and do a free consultation. And I love to work specifically with sales reps, because that's also my wheelhouse, as well as nonprofit organizations.
Nice. You're always giving us tips too.
Yeah.
Always giving us tips. Thanks, Dawn. Last but not least, Nicole, want to share?
Yeah, and so also of the group, I'm not primarily a coach. I do consulting, and I do a lot of coaching in what I do, but not in that way. And over the last couple of years, I've really been focusing more on that system level, creating alignment around purpose. Or purposeful alignment for bringing the organization strategy, the formal strategy, with the informal, the folks that are charged with executing on that strategy. We don't talk enough about what's really motivating us. Mm-hmm. And let's be explicit about that, so that way we can create alignment or identify misalignment early on and put in strategies in place and help leaders. So it's really about changing the conversations that leaders are having with their team and teams are having with each other as well. And again, like with Jackie said, it's a proof of concept that I've been working with an organization on. I'm really excited about what's happening with that and excited to do more of it. And LinkedIn is probably the best way to find me.
That's it. That's awesome. Thank you, Nicole. Well, my friends, now it's time to say goodbye to all our company. I really, really, really appreciate the fact that you guys got up and are here, ready to roll and have a brief conversation with me. I do hope that you'd all be open to coming back again, either as a group or as individuals too. We talked about that because there's a lot of wisdom in this room. And I just want to thank each one of you personally for all the love and support that you have given me over the last almost 2 years. I deeply, deeply appreciate you. And I know that a huge part of the success and the joy that I feel in the work that I'm doing now is because of who you all are. So thank you so much. I truly,
Thank you, Sheryl.
Thank you, Sheryl.
guys. I will talk to you soon. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Oh boy, that was great. I really have been looking for squad. I have been looking forward to that experience with this group for the longest time. And so I'm happy that it happened today. All right, Beatrice Atlas, what's up? We're about to shift.
That roundtable wasn't just a talk. It was a demonstration of what happens when you stop pretending you're the only one in the pilot's seat.
Right. And now everyone knows exactly what color your fear is. You've traded the peace of the solo flight for a very loud cockpit.
Loud is better than silent failure. We have the data now. A witness turns a private wish into a public non-negotiable.
A non-negotiable sounds like a lot of pressure for a Wednesday. What if people aren't ready to hand out their room number?
Waiting for readiness is how joy stays abstract. Sheryl is about to make the commitment tangible for every single person watching.
Building a sanctuary while everyone is watching is a bold move. I'll be in the corner taking notes on the inevitable chaos.
There is no chaos in alignment.
Let's see what happens when the Joy Squad finally gives their commitment a room number.
All right, so it's funny because sometimes I feel like Beatrice is starting to get it, and then other times I'm like, oh girl, she has a way to go. Yes, hi Susie, it is so much fun. Thank you. All right, so it is homework time. It's week 3. We're talking about being committed. We have the last couple of weeks, you named things, you've embraced things, and this week it's all about letting someone else hold you to it. So I call this Joy Shift homework the room number. And it's probably the simplest homework I've given you yet, but it may actually be the hardest. Because the first thing I want you to do is I want you to think about who are the people holding you accountable right now. I'm not talking about your boss or your clients, but the people who you've been choosing, who's in the room with you to be in your build. Who are you choosing and they're choosing you back? Write their names down. And as I mentioned before, if you can't think of one name, it's a friend, someone, and it doesn't have to be about work. It's just someone who's there helping to keep you accountable. I want you to really acknowledge it and not take it for granted. So write the name of that person down. So, which leads me into the second one, because if you don't have a room, then you need to build one. And if you do have one, then lean into it. This week, I want you to promise yourself that you'll reach out to one person, because sometimes you might be able to name someone, but maybe you haven't talked to them in a while because, as Nicole mentioned before, things get really, really busy sometimes when you're in the middle of getting stuff done. But check in with that person, make a commitment to each other that you're gonna, hop on a call and connect with each other on a regular basis. That's why I said that I have this room that you experienced today. That's one of my rooms. I have a few. Sometimes it's just me and another person. And you've heard me talk before. Dwayne and I have a room every Sunday. We sit and talk with each other and hold each other accountable for the week before, the experiences that we had. So step 3. is to give yourself a commitment. Commit. Whatever you promise to yourself, tell someone. Say it out loud. Let another human being hear your commitment, because without a witness, it's intention, right? But an intention may not hold you at 6 a.m. in the morning on a Tuesday when you went out the night before and you really just don't want to get up and get on the bike. It's really, really important. I mean, we a few weeks ago ran a clip from Steve Bartlett from Diary of a CEO when he mentioned that the worst thing you can do is break a commitment to yourself. And so that's where we're sitting, and we're saying, hey, make that commitment to yourself. But gee, it would be so much easier if you can also include someone else in that room with you. So that's it. It's really, this week is really super simple. Figure out who is in the room. I mean, and tell us, I mean, if you're out there and you feel like, working those fingers, tell us if you plan on doing so, or if you already have a room. If you already have a room, because it's really what matters.
We have given the commitment a room. Now we are seeing if it can survive a 60th birthday in the middle of the Atlantic.
She has been spiraling for weeks. Is the Wi-Fi enough? Is this a massive mistake? This trip is pure leadership sabotage.
That spiral is the sound of a woman finally putting her wholeness first. She has earned this Atlantic exhale. Trust her.
And then she is handing over her chair to a guest host? That is a disaster waiting to happen. The Joy Squad will be lost.
The squad won't be lost, honey. We are just making the room bigger. True commitment means trusting someone else to hold the space.
I'll be in the lifeboat checking the satellite lag. 3,000 miles of questionable connection is a very brave mistake.
Breathe. We are sailing toward the celebration. Let's hear the big news. And happy birthday, Sheryl.
Oh my God. How did you, I mean, like in my head, the spiraling that Beatrice has been talking about is absolutely, completely real. And poor Dwayne and poor my mom and poor Ingrid and Helen and others who've had to listen, Sharon listened to me talking about like over the next 2 weeks, and Kristen talking about like, oh my God, how is everything's going to happen. So before I let you go, I'm going to just clue you in, a squad, is what's happening over the next couple of weeks, because I take my commitment. You guys know me well enough to know, and if you don't know me well enough yet, you will. I take my commitments very seriously, and to the show and to the network and to my mentor Keith, this incredible team. I take it very, very seriously. It's a very important part of my world, and so I just want to be honest with you about the schedule that we have coming up, because there are a few beautiful bumps in this normal workflow that I have. So I turned 60 on Monday. Woo woo! Happy birthday to me. There are folks out here who know that I love my birthday. Susie gave me a tiara and a sash, which Susie, I will be wearing on the cruise. So next week, I'm going to be on a cruise ship in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and I absolutely love cruising. It's one of my favorite things to do, Dwayne and I. And every single week I talk about joy being a leadership operating system. It's where I operate from. Joy is the sky. Choosing joy and purpose, about doing the things that ground you and center you and remind you about who you are. And for me, that's family and friends and celebrating. Oh, thank you. Thanks so much. Keith. Hey, thank you so much, Keith. How did he send me a happy birthday wish? That's very cool. He's on his own show right now. But anyway, so I'm going to be on the ocean next week. And I'm going to be streaming live for you, because that's what commitment looks like. You show up, I'm showing up, and I do have, some back, I have a plan B in case the Wi-Fi gives me a hard time. So, but we are going to make it happen, and I'm really, really excited about it. And then the week after that, April 29th, I'm actually going to be in Miami speaking at a major business expo. This is the first time that my company, Eden Anthony, is doing anything like this. We have a booth. My sister's coming up, Sharon from Trinidad. Dwayne's going to be there. And so for the very first time, we are going to have a guest host. I'm feeling a lot like Kelly and Mark when they have, because they're live, right? And when you're live, things happen. And so, squad, I didn't want to hand this to just anyone. So Kristen Crockett, some of you remember her. She got really great feedback on episode 4, and she is a people whisperer. 5 minutes with her and she already knows what makes you tick. She's an amazing human design expert, a leadership development specialist. She is highly, highly intuitive in the best way possible, and she is going to bring some clarity to the room. So she is the founder of Crockett Collective, and she is going to bring it. So I need you to show up for her, please. Show up for her the same way you would show up for me. I need you in the chat. I need you engaged. I just want you to give Kristen all the joy love, that the Joy Squad love, because she's definitely a part of this community. And it just goes to show you that this show is bigger than any one person, including myself. So 2 weeks, a cruise ship, a business expo, a guest host, and not one Wednesday missed. We're not missing it. That's what commitment means, every Wednesday morning at 8:30. So I really, really appreciate you for being there and sticking with us. So that's it. It's 9:31. I'm actually overtime. That's episode 11. Today was different. Today wasn't just about a concept. You sat in it. You met my room. You heard what commitment actually sounds like and feels like, and why. The laughter, the honesty. It was really cool. It was really cool. And I'm hoping that you really take the homework at heart and that you're going to build something for yourself and build that room and commit to it. Reach out to one person and say, I'm building something, whatever it is, your life, your leadership, and I need a witness. Next week, episode 12, Joy in Motion, Motion of the Ocean. So thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Dawn. Oh, thank you, Nicole. Thank you for being in the room. Squad, love you. It starts with Joy Team. You are outshining every single solitary week. This room is so, so special. And it's an honor to be in it with you every Wednesday morning, squad. Fear loss, joy won. You know what to do. Keep dancing. Mwah. Love you.
The room number is settled. Now we take this commitment out of the studio and into the Atlantic.
One giant wave, and your accountability circle is just a collection of seasick coaches. Is that strategic?
Honey, there is no loneliness when the mission has a heartbeat. Let them be seasick together.
Exactly. Alignment is a portable operating system. It works in boardrooms and on moving deck.
I have packed the satellite maps. 3,000 miles is a long way to go to prove a point.
She is proving her wholeness is worth the celebration. The horizon is her new room.
Alignment is the ultimate anchor. Fear lost, joy won. Keep dancing, Joy Squad.
It starts with joy, it starts with fire. Feel the heat, lift you higher. It starts with joy, it starts